All right. Hey, Shalom.
Uh,
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Joachim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved Elder Tazapah and the water, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, as always, for blessing us with another opportunity to come, bring forth not just another lesson, but importantly, prophecy. The news, like I seen Elder Yashawamba, which we'll play one excerpt from his video in this lesson, but like he titled his lesson today, happenings in the earth, plagues and recent happenings. So that's why it's a blessing to know. And two, within Israel, you see a lot of men really don't have it according to the basic things, as if John the Baptist was in the truth or not. When the man was born in the truth, you know. But the thing is it's a blessing to be able to bring forth prophecy, go through the scriptures and see what's happening to one of sheep in our day and age, as the former men did. But before we hop into it, other times of power, if you got anything.
yeah, you spoke on prophecy. Hey, that's beautiful, man, and that's a beautiful point. It is a privilege and an honor to be blessed with the knowledge of the understanding of this word. All right, which is we speak on this often, but Revelation 19:10 it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." All right, and we're dealing with the testimony. All right, and that's important right now because that testimony, as we brought out on the block, is what's going to deliver us. We will be saved, or how to say, we will overcome them by the blood of the Lamb and the word of what? Or
Testimony.
testimony. This testimony, prophecy. All right. You got guys, they want to harp on the law, and that's beautiful, but the law ain't going to get us on the chariot. And that's just the facts of it. That's in the word.
Right.
But we don't, as Paul said, Romans 3:31, we don't, how do you say it?
We don't make void the law.
We don't void it. What? We don't make void the law. Yea, we establish it. All right. By doing it, keeping it. And yes, teaching it. But you don't beat newcomers over the head talking about the law. You give them the testimony.
Mm.
That's what's going to deliver us. So I just wanted to go in on that. That you can't just brush over that, the prophecy. So yeah, brother, go ahead.
I got a real quick one because Apostle Paul had to remind the church about that.
Mm-hmm.
This Galatians chapter 3 and verse 2. Check this question out that he go ask him. He said, Galatians 3 and 2. Because remember, they was trying to go back and keep the law. Whoever got in their ear talking about, yeah, you gotta keep the law. So they asked Apostle Paul, he was like, well, who told y'all that? And he go ask him this question. He said, Galatians 3 and 2. This only would I learn of you. Here it is. This is the question. Receive ye the Spirit by the works of the law or by the hearing of faith? So his question
That's
was,
it.
how you got the Spirit? What
That's it.
drove you one day to say, "Oh my God, I believe"? You know how we are when we heard the apostles or whoever was bringing it out, and we found it was Israelites and it struggles. Like, "Oh my God, our life it literally changed." But we woke up. So he asked them, "How y'all got that? Was it by the law? Y'all heard somebody talking about the law? You got that spirit, that excitement, that zeal by keeping the law, or by hearing what you heard, man?" And to back up other times of
Uh,
pious by hearing what we hearing. You got a dose of Quan.
Con, no, I just said con, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the way to kick off Thursday.
Kind. Then he went on to tell him, "Are you so foolish? Having begun in the spirit." So that's how hearing the things that the Lord must tell us before all these things happen. And again, the testimony, as the Elder Tazapah started with, of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So it says, having begun in the spirit, are you now made perfect by the flesh? So no, it's the spirit that God is in this, and it's going to be the spirit of these things that keep us going throughout this walk. The law only going to go so forth, and a lot of people now to get off, the law, but not just the Israelites who thinks the law, but now you see a lot of people, and there's going to be a lot of these law-keeping Israelites, and we're in the first covenant and already Israelites. You know how, because people say, Great Millstone, y'all just newscasters. All y'all do is report on the news. Now you're looking and seeing the world, everybody turning to the news. What's going on? All the churches want to talk about what's going on, real life events. And that's where you have the prophets, man. But I ain't had nothing else other times of pop. You had anything else before that? If not, we can hop into it.
I'm ready.
Con, let's get it. So as you see from the title, it says, and Shalom Tala Akim Akwatu tuning in, Yahweh Shah Brakathum.
Yahweh Shah Brakathum. Shalom.
Shalom. So as you see from the title, it says, the plagues won't stop. Thursday Live, the plagues won't stop. Various topics. And it is various topics, like every article about something different. But it's beautiful, though, because that shows that, remember, in the scripture that I'm thinking about, and Baba Kashav, a brother can throw it in the chat, is 2 Ezra 16, and around verse 35 on down to verse 40. How the Lord said the plagues that he's going to begin to send will be like a woman in travail. And as brothers always break it down, when you consider a woman giving birth, it's those contractions. They eventually be spaced out. But over time, the closer the child get to delivery, they get closer together and more painful. We in that season. Now we finally about to see our Lord work. It'd be days how we were like, man, in our mind, we may think, ain't that really happening this week? Ain't that really happening this month? It ain't going to be like that. Time's changing. Think about it. If the Lord said the play is going to be like contractions, remember the contractions don't let up. So from here on out, what that means, it have to continue and it's going to get closer together, man. So let's start off with this. So it's end time headlines. This was put out today. It says Israel says some of Iran's underground uranium stockpile was not destroyed and threatens to strike bases again. Now, is you want to speak on this one, Elder Tazapah?
Well, the video that we played said that there's some nuclear material came up missing in the inspection, but I don't know if the two are related. But this goes back to the theater thing, But yeah, Iran gonna keep the missile to the Lord, get ready to use it.
Yep.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no, destroying of the missiles or whatever. Yeah, no, we got prophecy. All right, we got the playbook, the manual, the whatever you want to call it. All right. So while others looking on ground level and can't see the forest for the trees,
all right.
With the prophecy, we have an aerial type of bird's eye view from the top down, because you don't get no higher than the Most High and His word. So this word gives us a bird's eye view, top down, just like that picture right there, a top down view, and we can see the whole scope. All right. Now, what comes along with a bird's eye view, we don't actually have, bird eyes, but, looking from the top down, we don't see all of the little intricacies. All right. But we know the way things are moving, where they're moving to, all right, and how they're moving. Because we know the destination. So although they'll try to go all through the forest and around the trees to throw you off, just like article a brother got coming up, and we'll come back to this point of them trying to go the scenic route so you don't get hip to this is what we're doing or this is what they're doing. The scriptures gives us the direct route of what this is what they're doing. So don't be distracted by these trees and the hills and all of that. This is where we're going. and we're going to the destruction of this kingdom, if you will. All right. Now, I know people have been indoctrinated not to see kingdom, but this is Esau's kingdom. And so, yeah, you got it out. It's just more theater.
That's it. Yep. So, in other words, what's it saying in this article was put out today, and as well, all the articles and the videos that we're gonna play, they already in the description box as well. If y'all want to read everything, because we ain't gonna hit the complete articles, but just to highlight this title again, it says End Time Headlines, put out July 10th, which is today. Israel says some of Iran's underground uranium stockpile, and it's the thing. Okay, so even though it's not, so what though? Like, so what they got to do with you? But that just shows the pride of Esau. It says stockpile since it was not destroyed, Israel threatens to strike bases again. So what they're saying, it ain't no ceasefire. They ain't gonna stop. Why? Because according to, get this real quick, the third woe, according to prophecy, we know. See, that's the comfort of prophecy.
Exactly. You got it. It's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful, man. But go ahead.
Yup, Revelation 11 and 14.
Make your point. You're making a heavy point.
No, just the point of that's why we ain't worried about if we see an article that say a ceasefire or
right,
the jobs, the economy getting better, or whatever it may be. We know that's BS. Or the tariffs really helping America. No, that's not happening. We know it's not happening. Why? Because the prophecies say so. It have to fall. It's got to be people without jobs. Jobs have to, according to Isaiah 19. See, we have the upper hand by telling this man what he have to do and what's coming. And that's the comfort we should have. These people, they hearing and finding out as the news tell them, as CNN tell them, as they scrolling on Instagram and happen to see an article or a repost by somebody. And they're like, oh shit, when is happening? And they find out then. We know ahead of time. So as we in the movie, it's called the Tales Apart. As we in the movie, it's like we in it, but we got like an outer body view of everything happening though. Other than it was taking place amongst these people, man. Like we see it although we in it, if that makes sense. But I read this Revelation 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, and the second woe is World War II. And it says, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So World War III got to happen. Missiles must be shot off. America have to be destroyed. Israel have to be destroyed, and it got to be by fire, according to prophecy. So we know that's going to continue. You had anything else on that, Tazapar?
No, we good, Doc.
So moving on to the next one, and again, it's a various topics. We may be quick on some, and some we may dive a little more deep into. And we got
I do want to get a precept right quick.
You got it.
The brother, bearer of Yahushua posted 2 Ezra 16 and 38. It said, as you mentioned, as when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son.
Can we start at 37, Baba Kashan?
I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't go up there. Salakia. Okay. So, this bearer of Yahushua, Shalom, 2 Ezra 16 and 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Okay, yeah. It says that when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth. You want me to go further? That was.
Yeah, it says.
Oh, okay. It's 16. Yeah, it says they slack not a moment. In Ezra 16:39, even so shall not the plague be slack to come upon the earth, and all the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. It says, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims in the earth." So yeah, brother. You want to speak on it? That's your favorite book.
Yeah, that's fire. No, that's fire. That's the perfect precept for this lesson because it's various topics. And again, we're coming into a new time. You know, the last big event that shocked the world or put fear into these people, especially Americans, was CV. And that was years ago. As crazy as it sounds, but that was years ago. So now, guess what? The next contraction got to come, but the Lord is speeding it up. And that's what it's many things happening in the earth. And we're just touching on a few. And again, every one of these articles are different events, but this right here is going to be plagues coming and they're not going to stop. So if these things happening now, the flood, and you know what's cold at the Tazapah? Man, the Lord been allowing us to kind of keep track of all these natural or wild events that's been happening, like the fires, the floods, the hurricanes that's been devastating people in cities and states. Now add this one onto it. Add Kerr, Texas onto that. You know? Now it's more people in America that's suffering. So if this happening, what you think the next week gonna be? Or weeks from now, or months from now, the Lord gonna continue. But that was it, Zaquan.
Done. I'm good.
Hey, shalom to the El Tazaria. Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah.
Shalom, Kwan. Lamar in the house. Shalom, Lamar.
But the Virgin Islands, but we can move on.
And C-Bomb Malak today.
Oh yeah,
he in the house?
No, Sam. You know he going.
I don't think so.
You got your Howard Dub there.
Yeah, he in the house. He gonna be in the house.
Yeah, that brother was there before the
lesson right there.
Yeah, he was there before the lesson started.
Right, he's the first one on the block. Come on.
But we can move on and go to the next one. So again, World War III gonna continue, but now also, which people don't know, they just think Yahushua is just the Lord, just the Lord and Savior only. No, Yahushua is the Lord, and Savior, he a king, and don't forget, Yahushua was a prophet. Yahushua is a prophet. He prophesied too. He prophesied of events. He prophesied about 70 AD. And one thing that he prophesied was going to happen before his coming was that it was going to be earthquakes in diverse places. And that's how we know he was a prophet, because in the end, 2025 AD, we seen it happening. I don't think for the last couple months, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Tazapah, but it felt like for the last couple months, it's like every Thursday is an earthquake somewhere. It's like an article that's saying an earthquake happened somewhere, or every other month,
And last week, it passed last week, last Thursday, that they call it the big bucket of bullshit bill, the big beautiful bill. They gave it a name, but yeah, that passed last Thursday. It seemed like every Thursday now something going down, but it went into effect on the 4th. Or went into law on the 4th, but they passed it last Thursday. But yeah, brother, you got it.
That's it. So we can move on. So the next article is from End Time Headlines again. And they've been on fire lately. But I know another Yashawama video, which again we'll play a little bit later on. He played a little bit of, I guess, the owner of that website. And you could tell by his teaching style, he gotta watch the prophets. He got to watch, and you got to be, he got to watch brothers linking stuff. Not saying us, but, the apostles and Elder Yash. He got to watch the prophets doing this, because that's what you're starting to see. Christians' teaching style is becoming like the Israelites.
Yeah, I've been noticed that. Come on. So it is.
And
they going into the Greek. They going to go into the Greek now. You won't hear too much Hebrew, but they will go into it, and they'll go into the Hebrew and go into the Greek. And I grew up in the church and went to many other churches. That's what you do in the black church. You go visit other churches. And I ain't never heard nothing about no Greek. I didn't know the scriptures of the New Testament was based in Greek. A lot of it. But yeah, brother, you got it.
Good. But so this next one, it says End Time Headlines put out July 4th. And I'm going to just read the header in this one and move on and read the next article. It says, because it's going to give a little more info. It says Japan has been getting hammered by hundreds of earthquakes. Is all of this seismic activity building up to a really big event, and we know something greater gonna happen. But the next article, this was put out yesterday from shtfplan.com. It says, put out July 9th, more than 400 earthquakes just shook Mount Rainier. Now, this is not in Japan, Mount Rainier in Washington. This happened in Washington, you know, and I'm interested to see what the Lord gonna do over there. Where's that? Yellowstone Park. What they got a volcano or something over there?
Yeah, it's like an underground pond.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I mean, let's see. Let's just test it. Let's see. Is it earthquakes that can erupt? Let's see. If they had any, they may have something that's close. It said right now there's no large ones. But it says while earthquakes and volcanic activity are linked, it says it experienced frequent earthquakes, but not nothing sufficient. But again, we know according to prophecy, we living in times that's not regular. It's not like any other time, a time like never before. And we know Sirach 36, the Lord said what? He gonna do new things. So, you know, it is what it is. But we know the Lord gonna do stuff. But let's read this a little bit. It says more than 400 earthquakes just shook Mount Rainier, which is in Washington, and more than 1,300 earthquakes just rattled Japan. It says there is a possibility that a cataclysmic eruption of Mount Rainier could occur in the not too distant future. On Tuesday morning, Mount Rainier was shaken by over 400 earthquakes. It was the largest earthquake swarm that we have seen at Mount Rainier since 2009. Those who have been following my work for a long time already know this earthquake swarm immediately got my attention. And it goes on, you know, about the time it happened, so on and so forth. And they give a picture graph of where it hit. So it says an earthquake swarm began at Mount Rainier, Washington at 1:29 a.m. on July 8th. Map shows current swarm in orange, with all earthquakes located since 2020 in blue. So this all the ones in blue that happened since 2020, but the orange ones are what happened in the swarm recently on July 8th. You know, but it goes on. But this goes to show what Yahawashi said, that was right. And it just happened, I think, 2 times within months. And we touched on this maybe months ago, but on the West Coast, it was over 1,000 earthquakes on the West Coast. But see, these not the things you're gonna just see on scrolling on, you know, that's gonna catch people attention scrolling on a feed on Instagram. Oh, this is not the major things they're gonna tell you on the news. Like I see when I go to my computer now, you know, get on the computer, do what I gotta do for my, you know, daily work. It's articles like Kim Kardashian got a new hairstyle, or you know,
right.
Travis Scott, oh, he shocked the world, and to make you click on some BS. You know, it's like, what? Who cares? Mm-hmm. But they gonna tell you what matter. You gotta do, Zaquan.
No, I disagree.
Con. Oh. Let's see if anybody put that. Yep, it's a super volcano. Alawaf said super volcano, Yellowstone Park.
Yellowstone, right?
Can I get this real quick? Matthew 24, earthquakes in diverse places. We can move on. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 7. I'll start at 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. So look, we in the beginning of contraction. So you know the Lord gonna turn it up. We seeing these things, man. The point is it can't stop from here on out. But we can move on and go to the next one. Let's see. Now we just highlight this one. We ain't gotta stay long. But this from yesterday. This was put out yesterday, July 9th, from naturalnews.com. Because again, this add on to the plagues. And just for an example, it ain't just plagues as far as natural disasters that can be a plague. Think about Egypt. Remember, the Lord did many different things. Yeah, he used nature to bring disasters, and nature got affected. But again, that's not all the Lord can do. And we're in a modern time, so it's not like people just got cattle in their yard now. What cattle? Granted, the Lord killing off cattle, but the Lord will affect people in many different ways.
That's right.
So it was another plague that happened in Egypt. It was darkness. Well, what's a modern day way to bring darkness? An EMP attack, blackouts, right? Energy failure, so on and so forth. Many plagues are coming, and the Lord ain't stopping. And the summer gonna bring up people to use more energy, which gonna give the government an excuse to bring the blackout. From naturalnews.com, you about to say something about Tata?
No, you got it.
Con. From naturalnews.com, July 9th, it says Trump Energy Department warns, and every time they warn, they're really telling you what they're doing. It says Trump Energy Department warns blackouts could surge 800 hours annually in Biden green agenda failure. And it's key because if you want to watch, it says the green agenda failure. Remember they had that in Europe a couple weeks or months ago. I believe it was like maybe a month or two ago. A blackout in Europe, and what they blamed it on, the green agenda failed. And it wasn't what we thought it was. It ain't hold up. But they was putting that out, the green agenda, it failed. It wasn't strong enough. Now they already giving the Americans y'all heads up, man. It's already weak. So expect blackouts to come. In 2 Ezra 15, the Lord said he gonna bring plagues in Egypt as before. In this new Egypt, one of the ones that happened in the old Egypt was darkness. But that was it on that, Elder Taza Powell.
And just real quick, that's going to bring a whole lot of headache. But everything is electronic now. So you're talking about a shutdown of society, not just being in the dark. You're talking about no ATM, no access to your money, possibly goods, services being stopped. You're talking about a shutdown in society. And that's a possibility. But we just have to see how it plays out. You got it, brother.
Yep, and when they bring it back on, over time, the new thing gonna be is the digital system, and they usually call it rolling blackouts. Now they're telling you annually, but they say it's gonna keep kicking in. So Esau can look, he can do installments with the digital system if you want to. Cut it off one time and bring it back on, and now it's something else, and another time, and people gonna fear it. And a new time you bring it back on, now you can finally see the news. Your phone come back on, and everything they putting on there is, oh my God, the Iranians did it. Russia trying to attack. So now people scared, and that's gonna give them an excuse to just like the Patriot Act, give up freedom for security. That's it. But it goes into it, and again, it's in the chat. But they already telling you this new green agenda grid is weak. So what you think gonna happen when they say it's hot outside, people using it too much? It's gonna shut off. And that's gonna bring what Elder Taza Paz said, which is a beautiful segue into this next article. That's gonna bring 2 Ezra 15 to life, or to light. Another one from naturalnews.com, and it's a good one because you cannot think of the scriptures when reading this, because we know what's gonna happen. Naturalnews.com, it's put out yesterday, July 9th. When the apocalypse comes, and brothers, I know brothers gonna hit us with them, it's the neighbor's precept in 2 Ezra 15, but it says, when the apocalypse comes, will your neighbors act like crazed maniacs from the Lord of the Flies and be your worst enemies? Of course. Of course. According to prophecy, of course. See, they asking questions. We know it. We already know it, man. That's why it's so exciting, because now, and you know what? These are the topics that's at hand now, because people see that. And I don't you probably remember this other times of power, but this was like last year sometime. But Alex Jones, he was bugging out once again, and he was like, "Yeah, if all hell break loose and and I don't have nothing to eat, I go kill one of my neighbors and eat one of my neighbors before anybody run up in my house and try to get my daughters." He already got in his mind when all hell, Alex Jones, he should be well off. You should have some stuff stored up. Is already in his mind that he'll eat one of his neighbors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find. I gotta when we play one of this video. I'm gonna have to find you guys. I
don't think I heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I heard that one.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, they had an old going back. This had to be in the '60s. Twilight Zone episode where the dude, he had something catastrophic was supposed to happen. I forget what. I vaguely remember it, but this dude, he had a shelter, and so it was enough of him and his family. And then all the neighbors came, wanted to get in the shelter, and he started letting them in one by one. But ultimately, what happened? They ended up putting him out his own shelter, and turned out nothing happened. And so now they all looking at each other. They didn't turn on each other and was backbiting and all of that, and then nothing happened. So now they got to live with that shit and look at each other every day. But yeah, that's been a theme. That's my point. It's been a theme going way back, to push that type of, behavior when chaos breaks loose. So there is already a pre-existing what you call it out? The shit. Man, it's right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, people have preconditioned. People have been preconditioned to bug out and wild out. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Now I found it. The water out by Shemau Shai. Hey, just to prove all things, because Alex Jones, we know he bugged out. But if this so-called well-off Edomite who living in, I don't know if he's still staying Austin, living in Austin, right? Doing this thing, if he already got this mindset, and he should have stuff stored up and rifles and guns in America, right?
And Joe Rogan, he said Alex Jones makes money. He said it like that. So he got some paper. Joe Rogan said Alex Jones makes money. So yeah, he got some shit put up. He probably just putting that vibration out there, to plant that seed. But go ahead, brother.
Yep. And two, you could just pull this up. Anybody can pull this up. It's on there. It's like on the web.
But he'll do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He told the truth, but yeah.
That's like it. That's the thing of the times apart. If he gonna do it, how much more the everyday person? But I'm gonna just play the short clip. This is a short clip, right? Just to show y'all it's real. Let me see. Here it is. There we go. All right. First, let's read the title again. After they were just talking about blackouts, the next thing says, naturalnews.com put out yesterday, when the apocalypse comes, will your neighbors, keyword, will your neighbors, the people you're supposed to know, you're supposed to meet them at the road, putting the garbage can up. Hey, Bill. Good morning, Ted. Right? What y'all doing? Popping firecrackers last week, barbecues. Yeah, it says when the apocalypse comes, will your neighbors act like crazed maniacs from the Lord of the Flies and be your worst enemies? Let's find out from an Edomite in America. Let's blow them up. Let's blow them up. Turn them up. Up, can't hear him. Make sure he up. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Let's blow him up. Still can't hear him.
Literally looking at my neighbors now and going.
And it's a short clip. If y'all want to find a long clip, it's out there. This is the short clip of it.
I will eat my neighbors.
And it's not AI. That's the last thing I want to say. It's not AI.
He dead serious.
Literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat. And you know that's why you're begging for peace right now. You should have thought about that when you turned down Christ a long time ago. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will eat you. I'll drink your blood. You understand that? I will hang your ass up and cut you into cutlets like a filet mignon and grill your ass. I swear before God, I'll eat one of these globalists on a spit. I'll eat your ass. I will. I will eat your ass.
And that's not, crazy. You got this one.
No, I say that's crazy.
I'll admit it. I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years since I got food and stuff. But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will. I'm combat model, optimum self-sufficiency, probably the leader. The point is have you thought about that yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this, and I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors.
Let's go,
You
man.
think I like sizing up my neighbor, how I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up? I'll do it. My children aren't going hungry. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
Come on, man. Someone put that in the chat. You got us, Zaquan.
Yeah, that's cold-blooded right there. Yeah, shit. And they, shoot. Trying to think. You had something?
Yeah, I got one. I got in second Esdras, is it 15?
Oh, okay, yeah, 15.
Assault their neighbors. Let me see.
I believe so.
And mercilessly assault neighbors. Second Esdras. I think it's second Esdras 15 to 16. But yeah, he's serious though. He ain't playing. Yep, I got it. Second Esdras 15.
Oh, okay, come on. Go ahead.
It's second Esdras 15 and verse. I'm gonna start at 14. It says, "Woe to the world." I gotta read the GNT for this. 15 of GNT, and when I get to that, I'm gonna read that. But yeah, this again, the plagues are coming, and he already talking about it while he able to go in the studio and be comfortable, man. This is second Esdras 15 and verse 14 in the KJV. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Right? All our war, civil war against the people versus the elite, war against the women and men, class wars, so on and so forth, wars within the elites themselves. The chariots going to be showing up, which we'll touch on the article in a few about the chariots. They showing up. You know, it's going to be many things happening. So going back to this, second Esdras 15, it says in verse 16, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings, the presidents, nor princes, governors, mayors, police, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So the people, the time coming to where the everyday person, they gonna get fed up. Job 20 and the Imal, the everyday workman, go attack the government, go run in the government, go run in these governors' houses, and they ain't gonna better do nothing. And that's when troops gonna have to be signed in. Remember, we touched on last week the DOD and Trump. If it get too much for the local police, we'll send in help, and we'll have that help, the troops, bringing deadly force. And that's verse 17. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Checkpoints, lockdowns, troops, concentration camps. All these things are coming. This part of the plagues before Yahweh shall make his entrance. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because, this is the reason, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And what's the question again? When the apocalypse comes, will your neighbors act like crazed maniacs from the Lord of the Flies and be your worst enemies? Let's see what the scriptures got to say. Verse 19, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. So that's the answer. You see, people got questions. The Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, by word of Rachakwadash, we have the answers, man. Starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, we have the answers. People out here guessing and want to know. We know. We know. And that's why we move with confidence. That's why they was like, man, how Yahushua, how he speaking so much boldness and confidence, because he knew it. See, Yahushua wasn't sent to ask questions. Nobody, the prophet's not sent in to ask questions. That's how Chief Ephraim, we know he ain't a prophet. You asking a question about the MOTB? In the end of the world, you asking a question about the MOTB when that's supposed to be a definite prophecy, because there's life and death. And that's in Revelation 14, like the Elder Yeshua would like to bring out, one of the key components of the new song in the end of the world that the prophets was going to sing. And you don't know what it is, you asking questions? Man, you ain't, come on, man. Come on, man. And again, people may take that as pride. No, we're not speaking in pride. We just confident in what the Lord said. See, King David, brother, thought he was proud, how he was ready to go to war with Goliath. No, he just trusted in the Lord that much, while the other people didn't.
Yep.
We moving with confidence because we know. That's why the apostles able to flat out say we have 100% truth. And if anybody say no, y'all don't, we're asking a question. Well, where are we going off? And whatever they ask us, now you got to prove what you're saying. And the thing is, we could back it up. We could back it up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashah. You got other times of power. If you're about to say something, Slaggy.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. About Malak in the house. I'm gonna read that Matthew 24:12 he posted.
Baba Kashak, can I finish this real quick?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Slaggy for my rant too, but this 2 Ezra 15 and 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy his own neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, coming with a weapon, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You got it, Zaquan.
Okay, GMS Austin, Bon Malak posted Matthew 24:12. All right. In the King James, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. He's going to the Alex Jones. And that's that's Esau's nature. He's bloodthirsty. All right. Where, our people chose to die rather than eat pork. So how much more so will, the hopefully let not turn to cannibalism. It's better to die, Alex. But they're carnal. They don't get certain spiritual aspects. They can grasp some, but there's some things that's not in them. It was taken from them. So you're absolutely right. He's an Edomite. Edomites, they don't have inhibitions or restrictions or, when it comes to, like he said, I'm gonna survive. What he said, I'm like a general or something like that. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That's just in your nature, man. It's in your DNA.
Nasty.
You're bloodthirsty. That's why you sold your birthright. Your forefather sold the birthright to our forefather because he couldn't wait. He had to have it. I'm about to die. He would have been better to die. But yeah, that you got it, brother.
Nah, that's it. And we can read a little bit into the article and we can move on. So this is that what we just had to use Alex Jones and the scriptures to answer the question. Yes, neighbors will go all out to survive, man. That's Jacob's trouble. So it goes on to say, it says, we often assume our neighbors, and hold on, let me post that. I just posted that Alex Jones video in the chat. If y'all want to kind of watch it or pass it around on your own. It's in the chat, the one recently posted. But it says, we often assume our neighbors are inherently safe allies. Man, it's like, I'm gonna read it. Simply because we live near them. I had this dude, so Elder Tazapah, you've been in my crib. I don't know if you ever seen him, but to the right of me, got this Edomite, right? So a couple months ago, my water heater had bust, and he had came, because he had just changed his out. So I was kind of getting some tips and pointers for me and my father to kind of change it out. But we're in the garage. He goes, and I thought of Ciroc 12 instantly. Never trust thy enemy. I wanted to smile at him, but I had to keep it in. This dude gonna say, yeah, man, things like this happen all the time. He was like, hey, if you're ever out of town on vacation, just let me know. I'll watch over your house. I'll take care of it. In my head, I'm like, why would I tell you when I'm not at my crib? Man, get out of here. Why would I tell you when I'm not at my crib? I said, you know what I said? I said,
no.
I got you. Hey, you do the same. When you leave and you let me know too. He said, oh, I got you. Then he gonna say, what's your family name? And I had to tell, I told him, for the truth lesson, I said, Abad, right? And I said, so what's your family name? And he told, but it was like, come on, so you think I'm about to let you? What you got to do, Zaquan? Shit.
Yeah. No, ain't that nothing.
But I read this. It says we often assume our neighbors are inherently safe allies simply because we live near them. We have across the street. We wave across the street, swap tools, and bond over shared routines. This familiarity, it's a hard word for me, breeds a false sense of trust. One built not on true loyalty, but on the stability of functioning systems.
Society, right?
Yep. Leave at the same time in the morning. So y'all got hey, how you doing, man? You just happen to be cutting grass at the same time, or that's just that awkward, aggravating shit.
Yeah, yeah. My neighbors, they stay outside 24/7 down there, and I don't want to wave and speak every time I leave out my door. Sometimes I just want to get in my car and go. Right. But they out there every day, and you can't not speak. But man, go in the house. They got the garage door up. They be out in the front. People normally hang out in their backyard. But they got the right to do it. But it's just one of them things. But you got it.
Man, what y'all cooking over? I might come get me a little plate. No, you're not.
Yeah.
We ain't cooking
Sometimes
nothing.
you leave out the door rough. You want to just go run to the store or something like that. You don't really want to be bothered. And then shit. Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of that, this gonna go into in the times we coming in. Don't be letting nobody know you got groceries. Don't be when you get the water. Just bring the water and keep it in the garage with the garage up, and people just see the water.
Yeah, you don't have to start sneaking groceries in the house. People gonna start scheming and watching. Yeah. People hungry right now already. Shit, and society is intact. So just imagine. But you got it out.
Yep. So it says when those systems collapse, no power, no water, no emergency response, the mask of civility falls. And that's what I'm gonna just read. It says the mask of civility falls because iniquity shall abound, the love of many gone wax cold. And neighbors can swiftly shift from friendly to threatening. Here's how it will go down by the numbers. Let's go into it. Number one, when systems fail, so does trust. The collapse of public infrastructure, power, water, communication, rapidly shatters the illusion of neighborly loyalty. Casual relationships built on routine civility dissolve, revealing how proximity can turn into a threat when resources run dry and survival instincts kick in. Man, this is 2 Ezra 15. It says preparedness can make you a target. Number 2, preparedness can make you a target. This is key. Number 2,
Yep.
and see, and this the man, it just hit me. This why we are so blessed, man. And Lord willing, we continue. But the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, because you have a lot of people out here as far as preppers, as far as being prepared, and they so stupid because they want to be content creator preppers. You letting everybody know what you doing, what you got, like you don't got neighbors, like your neighbors don't know you a popular content creator. You going into the bunker, you know, you doing all these things. You gonna be the first person. If everybody see you bringing this, you trying to stunt because you got groceries and other people don't, and you still in that mindset that nobody can, I'm as far as keeping up with the Joneses, I'm doing better. They ain't got, I'm still good. Me, okay, you're a target now. People see what you got. See, these Americans gonna lose. The point I want to make is that the Lord blessed us that we don't. Yahweh Shai said we ain't got to worry about where our food got to come from. We ain't got to worry about storing up. How we going to be fed, how we going to drink, how we going to get stuff, go be on the fly, go be in the spirit, go be by divine intervention. So it ain't like we got to prepare for it. It's going to happen for us.
So we ain't got shit to prepare with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are the poor and the needy of Isaiah 10. All right, crying for justice, can't get it. So that's why it behooves me. Well, I know why, but more people should be in this truth because we don't have shit. And the Lord giving us this truth for free, and it's gonna hold you down. Is holding us down. But hey, somebody got to be 2/3. A lot of Jake, sign their death certificate, if you will, when Yahweh Shai's first coming. You know what I'm talking about. They said, let his blood be upon us and our children. And you can't get around that. But yeah, brother, go ahead.
I'm gonna read a few comments and precepts from the comment board. But to the Elder Hawaii, this the article right here. Just put it in. Man. There you go. Let's see. So I wanted to get this from Elder Tazaria. He put Matthew 10:16. And see, stuff like this, taking a low, being looked at as weak prophets or scary and lame prophets, we gonna see how that way gonna benefit in the times we coming in. Not want to be on the scene like these other niggas and be like Alazar want to be around niggas. You're around niggas, bro. When times get hard, what you think niggas gonna do? Come on, man. What you think? Come on, man. What you think a nigga like Deacon Hakai gonna do in the hall? You think he gonna trust in Yahweh? No, man. Matthew 10:16, from Elder Atazaria, Future King GMS. It says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You got it, Zaquan, if you want to speak on it.
Man, yeah, just we're prey, and that should be evident to a Israelite. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, you Native Americans. Hey, I got to go back to with that Boys in the Hood, on Rock, and he was imparting some knowledge. He was getting deep on them young brothers. He said, the hunt is on, and you're the prey. Yeah, that's us. We are sheep in the midst of wolves, and they're circling, sizing us up, and every chance they get, they looking to devour. You need a shepherd. That's what we got in this truth. We have Yahweh Shai, the good shepherd. All right. And so like you said, we don't have to worry about. That's why David said what he said in the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. That's food, that's clothing, that's water, and that's safety and protection. All of it. We don't want for nothing. We catching hell, yeah. We downtrodden, yes. Again, in need of justice. But yeah, if I got a family member fall on hard time or a brother in this truth. Oh man, I can't pay my light bill. Whatever. In Texas, a light bill can be rent because depending on your house or your apartment, some of my coworkers paying $300, $400, $500 a month. So, we don't have the means to help our people, to even help ourselves as a man, and that plays on your manhood. But we have to keep it spiritual, and remind ourselves that again, that even in those troubles, be as pilgrims in the earth. Yeah, you on the move. We are, in a sense, Eli of the book of Eli. But yeah, that's it. We sheep's in the midst of wolves, man. And Jake has fallen into this false sense of comfort and safety tied to America and this society, and it's false. And it's going to bite him real bad, man, when Jacob's trouble really set in. All right. And they're stuck with this illusion of, this big bad great America. And then they see what it really is. So now they got to deal with that on top of Jacob's trouble. It's hard having your reality shattered. All right, it's something you thought was one way, and then you find out it's something else. And then on top of that, you got to deal with this hell that never existed in the earth before. A fresh batch of hell. But that's what's coming. A fresh batch of hell to the whole world. All right, and none are immune. But yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
That's it. We'll read a little bit into this and we can move on. And just, again, keep in mind, these are the things the Lord doing. And we just touched on a few things, but how many more plays the Lord is doing around the earth? Is a lot of things happening. Imagine when you really turn it up. So I read this again from number 1. It says, when the system fails, so does trust. It says the collapse of public infrastructure, power, water, communication rapidly shatters the illusion of neighborly loyalty. Casual relationships built on routine civility dissolve, revealing how proximity can turn into a threat when resources run dry and survival instincts kick in. Number 2, preparedness can. Oh, I wanted to read this as well because the brother Benaiah out there in Dallas, GMS Standard Firm 2, he says, like Kevin Bacon and Leave the World Behind. He told Jake when he went to his crib, they think cool. That's the old way. See, people was in that old mindset of, well, let's go to a neighbor, right? Let's go look for help. Ain't nobody help.
Yeah. Con.
Mm-hmm.
And old boy was ready to that Kevin Bacon, he was ready to get busy. He wasn't playing that neighbor shit. But that's what you don't have to have that mentality. But eating a motherfucker, no. But yeah, you can't be trustworthy like Elder Atazar going to from time to time. You got to get out of that nice ass spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's my neighbor, and I'm show him brotherly love, and then he come and put a knife in your back.
Right, we cool.
And string you up and gut you and fillet your ass and eat you. Alex Jones style.
Yeah, Alex Jones style.
That's barbecue your ass. He gonna barbecue your ass. But no, you got it out.
God. So number 2, it says preparedness can make you a target. And man, this is how we know the scripture's gonna speak so loud when these things happen. It says preparedness can make you a target. In a crisis, being well stocked or self-reliant isn't seen as wise, it's seen as selfish or hoarding. Neighbors who once shared beers may justify stealing from you because they feel entitled to your supplies, especially when they know what you have. Number 3, and at any time advertiser pie, I'm gonna just read through these and let me know if you got a point. Number 3 says betrayal begins quickly. See, it's gonna happen quick. The shift from friend to enemy isn't instant. It says isn't instant. It ain't gonna happen quick. It says it starts with the odd questions. First, lingering stares, right? You get out the car. When you try to disguise shit, people outside, they go look at you the whole way. Stay out there to see if you come back to the car. We ain't got any. And the next one says subtle probing. Hey man, it's been tough lately, huh? Hey buddy, it's been tough lately, huh?
Yeah. You call it.
Yeah, me too, man. Have you been able to find any food in there while your family been eating? Oh yeah, man. Me and my family been looking, man. I see your child had a piece of bread earlier. I was just wondering if yeah, they ain't trying to see. See,
right?
And then the neighbors go run in. You got it.
No, I disagree.
I thought I seen some smoke coming from your backyard. I was about to say, I know you ain't back there cooking by yourself. After all them times I invited you over for the cookout, huh? You wouldn't do that, huh? Yeah, it's gonna get like that. And the person sitting there nervous, nah. Yeah.
And I'm a witness to that, or an example of that friend turning to enemies. And not that we were friends, but all my coworkers, I want to do something to them motherfuckers. But that's neither here nor there. But at one time it was all cool, good morning, and this and that. And now it ain't the same spirit no more. I'm looking at these motherfuckers sideways, seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm just leave it right there. You got it out. But yeah, that's the truth.
That's it. Yep. Number 3. Man, again, Elder Atazari just posted it. Matthew 10:16. Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. A serpent blend in. It ain't got nothing else. You just gotta blend in. It says betrayal begins quietly. The shift from friend to enemy isn't instant. It starts with odd questions, lingering stares, and subtle probing. This is a hard one. Familiarity becomes dangerous as those closest to you know routines when you're leaving. So when your wife home by herself with the kids, right? What's your weaknesses?
And when you go grocery shopping. Yep. When you get paid.
Yep.
They like to tell him, I just got paid, man. Oh, it's Friday. That nigga got his check.
The nigga did say he get paid every, you know what?
Yeah, every Thursday. Yeah.
Man. Niggas so crazy nowadays, they post just a stunt. They posting bank stubs, check stubs.
Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Crazy. Man, I'm thinking about Alizar again because really, when I said it, I didn't think about him, but really, I'm thinking about the average social media nigga, But I thought about him. What you think them thug gangster Negroes gonna do when times get hard and they know he a crash dummy? When they know he just faking it, like he like Malibu's Most Wanted. That's really how I see him. He kind of like Malibu's Most Wanted character in my eyes. But anyway, it says, and where you hide your resources, you showed your neighbor your gun collection that time. And what king that was in Israel showed the Babylonians everything, right? Just like him. But number 4, it says operational security is survival. Broadcasting, here it is. See, this one of them. Broadcasting your preparedness online or in person can make you a magnet for desperation. True prepping includes emotional discipline. And see, this is where the Lord blessed us at, man. True prepping includes emotional discipline, psychological readiness, and the wisdom to remain quiet, selective, and unreadable when it counts most. Man, that's heavy. That's how the Lord gonna have, Lord willing, we're a part of that. That's how the elect gonna be in these times. The scriptures already say, they gonna shut their mouths. They ain't gonna be around the masses of the people. They gonna be emotionally disciplined. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a quick one. When a crisis comes, let me get a quick one. The Sirach 22:16 in the GNT. It says, and this is a good precept for Isaiah 33:6 about wisdom and knowledge being a stability of our times. But Sirach 22:16 in the GNT, it says, a wooden beam can be put into a building so firmly that an earthquake cannot shake it loose, right? It says, and a person can be trained to use reason and good sense so well that he keeps his head when a crisis comes. Come on, man. We've been taught right by the apostles. We've been raised up right. We've been prepared, going through the scriptures, following, not just like Bishop Nate, well, what I said, morons, nothing was happening. Not just waiting on something to happen, but following the process of the events. So when a big event happened, we won't be surprised because we followed it the whole way. These people going to bug out, but the Lord, man, that's the benefit of knowing ahead of time, man. But that's all I had at the Toss of Power. I got a little more in this article, but you had something?
Yeah, I want to read Zaquan Hawaii. He pitching some heat.
Let's see. Which one you want?
The one Zechariah and even the another one. But yeah, from GMS North Carolina 777. The elder out there in North Carolina, Hawaii, posted Zechariah 14:13. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise.
Oh, so like it all on. His hand shall rise. There you go.
What happened?
Now let's put the next part of it up.
Rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Con to what?
So like I was a little late on clicking on that last portion.
Con.
I see Alawab got a good one. Ephesians 5:15. It says, see then, and I like to start at that 14 because see what, it says, see then, and it's the benefit of having the truth now. Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he saith, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Mashiach shall give thee light. We was once dead. Now we got the truth. We see what's going on. Verse 15. See then, now that we know what's going on, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, man. We're in a different time and we see it. That's why, again, even like things we participated in the past, whether, lawful, whatever, speaking to myself first and foremost, the time's coming where it won't have, although we got freedoms to do whatever, it might not be, like Apostle Paul said, convenient to do it right now. Because the Lord judging a lot of the people who are around us. But it says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Man, I read 17:2. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And in this time we're in, what is the will of the Lord? Destruction and judgment. And we very well understand that. You got it up, Tassafa.
All right, I'm going to bring out GMS North Carolina 777, 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. Right? And we are in the last days. Those perilous times are knocking at the door.
That's right.
All right. Depending on your situation and your outlook, you might say they already here. But we hadn't hit the real, this is the beginning of sorrows. All right. The main event hadn't popped off yet. And so, right, this is why, and this is a different spirit. And I know Satan been on it as far as, you know, doing his shit, because man, it's been rough the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with these demonic attacks and all of this, you know, other stuff, and dealing with this world, and the people are bugging, man, in this world. Trying to hold on, maintain this status quo. Man, yeah, it's gonna get real treacherous out here. It's gonna get real treacherous, because, you know, I'm just looking at the little shit they doing on these jobs, and, you know, it's a lot going on, and there's a lot of people feeling it. You know, the economic pressures and woes and everything that's going on, and people are getting more and more I don't know what the word would be. I guess maybe unscrupulous, to where they, you know, they'll cut your throat just to keep eating. And I'm not saying in a literal sense, but they'll get you fired off a job. They'll do all this little underhanded shit just to try to get ahead, or to stay where they're at. And that goes back to, as we started this lesson, not understanding prophecy. You know, we understand, so I ain't got to step on nobody, stab nobody in the back. I ain't got to do, you know, that's the reason why Jeremiah 51 says to arise ye and depart. No, that's Micah. How's it going, Matthew? I mean, Jeremiah? Let me grab it right quick.
Come.
This is Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna hit right at the point. Verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon. All right? Because her ways will destroy you. Going back to Micah 10, you know, which I mentioned just a few seconds ago. Micah 2:10 says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. You know, so don't get yourself comfortable and settled here. Be as pilgrims in the earth. So when you flee out of the midst of Babylon, you can step back, take an objective look at everything, and break shit down, because you don't have a dog in the fight. But when you do got a dog in the fight, you do got investments tied to shit and this and that, you want America to succeed. And you're going to try to succeed. The problem is, with trying to succeed, you got to fuck over people in Babylon, because there's no opportunities here no more. And that's Ecclesiastes 12. Wages been going up since you mentioned the CV19. Wages have been going up steadily since then, and not one, well, they say, what is it, 09, I believe, that the minimum wage hasn't risen since 09. That's almost 20 years, if that's correct. But yeah, it's been a while. That's my point. And how people to survive. And then at your job, they don't want to give you raises. They know everything is getting out of hand. So right, it's gonna get nasty out here. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, we can move on. I read one more from Lamar about the neighbors. Isaiah 19:2, and I will set the Egyptians against Egyptians, Americans and Americans, and they shall fight.
You know what Oh, you reading that? All right, then I got to finish Jeremiah, man. I went off on a tangent. Go ahead.
Kind of says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. Keyword neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. You got it.
All right, the water. I hate leaving the scripture unfinished. Jeremiah 51:7 says, 51:6, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. See, you got to leave the mindset of this place, the spirit of this place. So it says, but this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So that was it.
I bring this out real quick from the Elder Hawad. It says, experts do not know exactly how long a person can live without eating food, but there are records of people surviving without food or drink between 8 and 21 days. After 8 days without food, people will eat each other. So that is. Yep. So to answer the question from the article, when the apocalypse comes, will your neighbors act like crazed maniacs from the Lord of the Flies and be your worst enemies? Of course. It's Bible prophecy.
And look at Alawat. My man, he put it, the last time the federal minimum wage was raised was on July 24, 2009, when it increased to $7.25 per hour. It hasn't increased from $7.25. The fuck you gonna do with that? You got to work 100 goddamn hours just to break even. You know? But yeah, the water, Alawat, making me look good on here, brother. Con.
You know, he's in the back of so, oh yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Con.
Hey, I fuck with y'all. Hey, shalom. But again, now we'll move on. These last couple articles, you know, we can kind of fly through them, but it just adding on to the plagues. And again, all these articles and videos we're gonna play and that we showing are already in the description box under the video, under the title. So again, adding on to it from End Time Headlines, it says, put out yesterday, July 9th, 2025, billions of flies to be dumped out of planes in an effort to fight flesh-eating maggot known as man-eater. And this is a true story. You will look this up. Of course, we ain't gonna show nothing. It's confirmed. It's going on. As a matter of fact, I read this little AI overview real quick as well, but I read this first thing. So that's what Esau doing. He's sending out flies, dropping flies, and we'll read the location, but who knows where else he doing it at? And who knows exactly what these flies doing? And they say maggots. What if the maggots and flies multiply? Then what? But anyway, it says the U.S. government is preparing to breed, keyword right there, breed billions of flies and dump them out of airplanes over Mexico and southern Texas to fight a flesh-eating maggot. That sounds like the plot of a horror movie, but it is part of the government's plan for protecting the U.S. from a bug that could devastate its beef industry, decimate wildlife, and even killed household pets. And this, I couldn't help but think about the 10 plagues. That's the things the 10 plagues did.
Hey, that's a plague. That's definitely a plague.
Yep, it devastated the beef industry, so to speak, with the cattle, the wildlife, and also household pet. Man, the Lord did this. And see, they try to downplay what happened in Egypt. But for Egypt to be just a little desert and pyramids today from what it was, the Lord did his thing over there, man. They just downplay it today as if, you know, oh, a frog, oh, just you moving a frog out the way, you know, or just lice, you know, just no, man. These people was bothered by that. Read about this. You got it.
No, I can't imagine.
Man, read about King Solomon when he described what happened during those long 3 days of darkness. That one just the lights off and you just chilling, laughing, looking. Oh, let's just go out in the backyard, babe, and just look at the stars. Into this, to all things, dust, roll over. Man, these the Lord was plaguing these people. That's what's about to happen now. Exactly what's about to happen now. I read this next one. It says this AI overview. Billions of flies to be dumped out of planes. You can look it up on Google. It's legit. It says the U.S. government is indeed planning to breed and release billions of flies over parts of Mexico and southern Texas. It says this seemingly unusual measure is part of a strategy to combat the New World screwworm fly, a pest whose larvae are flesh-eating maggots that can infest and kill livestock, wildlife, even pets, according to CBS News. So this is the new thing that's on the table. That's a new plague that the Lord can use. You got someone at other times of power?
No, sir. You good.
Next one, put out July 7th. We can't forget about these. This is the curse that goes over the whole earth. It ain't just a plague, it's a curse. But as we know, the chariots go eventually start showing themselves, which the world knows as UFOs. But this is the way of our salvation, which also this is the type of vehicle that our Lord, who the world ignorantly know as and call Jesus, how he gonna return. Standing on one of them. Not just in it, he gonna be standing on one of them, as the scriptures say, on top of his. But it says over 60 UFO sightings reported across the New York State in the first half of 2025. And it goes on to say this: these sightings span urban cities like New York City to rural areas such as Chester, Ridge, Evans Mill. Describe a variety of mysterious objects, including glowing orbs, silent triangles, fast-moving discs, and shape-shifting lights. It says the reports detailed in recent articles by Fox News highlight a surge. Why? Because they're getting closer to the earth. Hey, you remember in Sodom and Gomorrah, the angels was sent down to check out what was going on. The same thing happening now. The angels being sent down to check out what's going on. So it's gonna be more chariot sightings, more, and a lot of these events that people seeing, it ain't just Esau. The chariots starting a lot of these thunderstorms and whatever it may be, fires. They derailing some of these missiles and guiding these missiles and stop and detonating some of these missiles. The chariots doing a lot of work. The people just don't see it. But it says the activity that has sparked curiosity and debate among the nature of these phenomena. So that's it on that one. Then we can kind of wind it down with these floods. You have anything on that, Zaquan?
No, sir. You good.
But we can wind it down. We'll end it here in a few. So this next one put out yesterday, July 9th. Again, keep in mind, plagues coming as a woman in travail. If these things happening, which, and you know what's crazy, is in order for the Lord to allow, and again, the Wadi Hawba Shemal Shah, but every week, and Lord willing, we continue, but it's different things every week. With the Elder Yashawan, but it's different things every week. Shit, with the Apostle Tahar, it's different things, news things every day he be finding, right? The thing is, if all these things are happening and they continuing, what you think gonna happen as the days and weeks go on is gonna get worse. More gonna start to happen within the days. More devastating events and deaths and floods and a lot of, come on, man, confusion. We're in those times. So this says months worth of rain fell in Chicago in 90 minutes. And it says on the evening of July 8th, 2025, Chicago experienced unprecedented deluge. A severe flood.
Right.
Deluge, okay. New word. It says with over 5 inches of rain falling in just 90 minutes, surpassing the city's average monthly rainfall of approximately 4.5 inches, according to Illinois State climatologists. But you notice all these events is unprecedented biblical proportion or never before seen type events.
Mm.
And as we know, this one, a popular one that that's been in the know that we all I'm sure seen already that's been going on, but in Kerr County in Texas. Now we're saying, and it's probably more now, but put out July 8th, at least 161 still missing in a single county in Texas. It says at least 107, and it's not even the people that's dead, other than the people that's already dead. Right? Matter of fact, it says suggested the total of 111 could be more than double. So right now it's 111, but on top of that, they said it's 173 remain missing. So they all over the place. And this people, and the people who there, they without houses, they without family members, they don't know where to go, where to store. You think FEMA there? Trump golfing. You think he care? And the Lord been hitting a lot of these.
He mentioned them in the news briefing. That's about all I heard.
Yeah, that's to appease him a little while.
Right. As a matter of fact, what he was saying, because I made a mental note of it, was speaking about that list. I believe that was the same clip. And he was saying about Epstein, because it reminded me of George Bush. He's like, we still talking about this man? It's just like George Bush. We still talking about Osama bin Laden? And what it revealed is a method of operations. But that's another story. Yeah. What happened, man? I don't know. Some people say the water just came out of nowhere. I don't know what's going on right now. If it's natural or if it's being artificially manipulated. I don't know. I hadn't had time to look into this story. But your insight may be better than mine.
Anyone the biggest stage in the world?
Can I play a little time lapse video real quick?
Was just one step in my journey. Hi.
Because if Chicago getting floods, and this is all through the Midwest, that Bible Belt region, I don't know. It could be something bigger at play. But yeah, you got it. We getting unusual record amounts of rain for summertime here in Houston.
Yeah, yep.
It's been raining every day.
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on, but you got it.
Black skies been coming quick.
Like you want to rain right now.
It'd be sunny out of nowhere. Ain't nothing in forecast. It'll just start raining. But I'll play this real quick, and we can end it really after this. But Odiyashawama touched on that, how they're talking about cloud seeding, and they've been talking about blue rain. I'll let him speak. But this from his video. This in the description box as well. He put this out 19 hours ago. It says Prophecy Watch, Plagues and Recent Happenings from the channel Remnant Save 144.
But so much happening, and you kind of get lost with the times and move on to the next thing. But Texas floods follow blue rain and $175 million smart city deals, weather weapons, or coincidence. Okay. Now, there were reports earlier this year of blue rain dropping in a few parts of Texas, mainly here where this flood was. So it says in March 2025, the city of Kerrville, Texas, now completely underwater, approved a $175 million power plant project. The same city that's been expediting smart city initiatives in digital government services. Now it's drowning under historic flooding that conveniently requires massive federal disaster and infrastructure relief rebuilding. Coincidence, or the perfect excuse to rebuild with smart city tech using taxpayer disaster funds? All right.
So include them with North Carolina, include them with Laina. Parts of I remember my brothers in
Santa Monica. Did you say it them, huh? The Palisades. The Palisades, you said that, huh?
Yep. I don't think I said that one.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You was talking about Carolinas.
Even parts of Tampa. Remember, brothers do updates on the, I don't know, what's the new update, but on the 15-minute city in Tampa when they had the hurricane hit that one, and the brothers out that one did an update on the 15-minute city. So just add this one to the list, man. Esau, he forcing himself, man.
And this is
And they're all on the coast, right? They're all near the coast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yup. Or either in like rural area where you could do a lot with that land.
Okay, come.
Yep. That's what he gonna do though. He gonna take the rural land because he could do a lot with that land, or the touristic spots with the beautiful locations, and then eventually with that he gonna put the troops in the cities where everybody at. That's it. That's his plan.
Posting Texas floods after blue rain. 7 state-run cloud seeding programs exposed. Historic flooding. Entire towns underwater and at least 24 dead, with many more missing, including children. And just months ago, Texans reported blue rain falling from the sky. Now here's what. Okay, let's check this out. See what this says.
Hey, we're camping in this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they?
Now, could this just be someone, this is the internet. It's 2025. People will put anything on the internet. So you take some of this at face value.
And I would say this is not the only video I've seen. I've seen other videos. It was a Jake doing, the road construction. And he was like, man, what the hell, man? He had to be from the South, What the hell, man? We out here, man, just finished rain, like putting up cones. Just finished raining, man. Look at this puddle of blue shit, man. Man, it's rain, man. It's blue, man. So there's many videos like that, though, but look at these events that's happening. Matter of fact, and this the time lapse of it right here.
I heard of purple rain, but I ain't heard of blue rain.
Purple rain. God. Future of Prince, which I know it's Prince, but the new age, they think when they hear Purple Rain, they think of the Future album.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, this that time lapse. So look how quick. And now, of course, it's sped up.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't normal. But we're not in normal times either, so.
Yeah, and they were saying there wasn't no dams that broke or opened or released or nothing. I don't know. Esau up to something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll play one more video. We'll play this for like a minute. Elder Taza Pod. That's really it. I ain't had. We could probably end it with one of the precepts the brother got, but that's it though. We done after this. This from Jason A. put out 23 hours ago. He's something biblical is happening worldwide. Why nothing? Something Quran like is happening worldwide. Something Scientology. So, why is it always biblical? Because that's the Bible speaking. Habakkuk 2. The Lord is speaking right now by his words that's written. These things are taking place, and these people won't be able to deny the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua for long, man.
Of the 4th day, now 5th day. Look at this. This is just coming into us. Some of these videos here. This one shot by a person named Charlie Rivers. Look at that. The water rushing past buildings and homes. You can see some of the debris there as well. Let me get right to Bill Karens. You hate to see this, Bill, as we are coming off.
New Mexico. That's not even the Texas one.
Okay.
Life-threatening flash flooding happening right now in parts of New Mexico. Worldwide. The Lord is speaking.
4th day, now 5th day of that flash flooding in Texas. This is not, first of all, it's daytime. It doesn't look as bad, but help us understand the risk here.
All right, so we're in New Mexico. We're in the mountains. This is near the Lincoln National Forest. And when I first saw this video, I was like, oh, this is old. This is last year. I believe it's almost from the same vantage point, the same person.
Wow.
They had a flash flood last year that was very similar to this. I was just on their Facebook group for the community there, and they're saying that this year was worse than last year.
At least 3 people confirmed dead overnight, including 2 children, multiple homes destroyed. The mayor speaking with the National Weather Service.
And they were updating us constantly, which they've been doing every.
Jermaine struggled for years with dental
damn,
issues before
man.
finally finding Nuvia. Listen to what he wanted most after his smile makeover.
Yep. The whole thing is the whole hot tub. Yep.
Heat and extreme precipitation that you talk about, should we just expect
Storms in the next 24.
Oh no! Oh my
God.
The whole house floating down the thing. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that.
man.
Carried off by the water.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
Caitlin Carpenter watched her friend's house get swept away.
It's a house built on sand.
That water don't play.
It was terrifying. Honestly,
Nah,
I
you good, bro.
was not expecting that. I was really shaken up.
The flood came on quickly. 8 inches of rain hit
Yeah,
this
that's
week.
pretty much it. That's, you know,
Right now,
I mean,
to help trapped residents.
Flood survivor.
many things going on in the world, man. So there's a lot of plagues, and the beautiful part about it, we know the Lord ain't gonna let up. See, the world praying for better days and to find the children and put up prayers and hashtag Kerrville and in Christian school, Majesty. We know the Lord about to do worse than what He's doing now, and tomorrow might be worse. But that's all I had, Advertiser Pa.
That's it. That's all I got.
Can
Let's see. Yeah, that's it. I will go to Matthew 7 right quick.
okay.
All right. All right. All right. Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And that's representation of us being in this truth. As the Lord said in verse 24, therefore whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So you want to be that wise man in these last days to build your house, all right? Your spiritual house upon a rock. Well, the rock, not a rock, but the rock. Yahushua. All right? Because the storm is coming. You know, this is the pre-storm. You know, before a hurricane hit, the skies go dark, nature give you a warning. All right. Well, the prophets are your warning system. Your early warning system are the prophets of Great Millstone and the men that teach the doctrine of Great Millstone.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it ain't about Great Millstone per se. But the Great Millstone is tapped into the Holy Spirit. From apostle to heart, the rest of the apostles and elders and bishops on down through the whole body. All right, we know it's a storm coming. We're battening down the hatches, you know, closing the storm, what they call that shit, the storm shutters, and we getting ready to lock in. Everybody else, they out here loose, trying to enjoy the festivities, you know, going to the ball game, looking for the next concert and all that. They not building. And it's the story of the three pigs. Except we ain't letting them niggas in our house. You know, the three pigs, the first two, they threw their houses up quick. Cheap materials. Just, you know, the first was straw. But the same thing that the Lord told us not to be. He told us to be silver, gold, silver, precious stone, not to be hay or stubble, you know, when building. But there's a cartoon that I like about it. The wise little piggy, he built his house of bricks. You know, he put in the work, he did the labor, he was diligent. And while the other two, they threw their houses up and they was playing and having fun, the big bad wolf came. And they ran into houses that were not sheltered. You know, and ended up what? Having to go to their neighbor. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there, man, that it's serious times ahead. We got to be just as serious and diligent and finish building or either get to building, but build. You will need some shelter, and then, you know, that's going to come from the Most High, but you got to put in the work. So that was it. You got it?
I ain't got nothing.
You want to close it? Or you...
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, man. The water to you brothers and you elders for tuning in and building with us, man. I think it made for a better show. And feel free, come back. Matter of fact, I encourage you brothers to come back and build with us. You know, and again, it creates a better flow in the spirit, and more edification comes out. You know, so I just want to say that the water to all of y'all. The water to you sisters for, you know, being in obedience. Week in, week out, y'all come on and y'all quietly listen. And that's appreciated also, you know. So yeah, the water to y'all, and we're going, with that, I say, you know, again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. So honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right. Y'all brothers stay up, and sisters stay up. Much love and shalom.
Hey, shalom. Hey, we finished that 144. That's a spirit.
Hey, beautiful.
You gotta hurry to end it though, so we gotta hurry. Shalom.
Yeah, you gotta close it, right?